Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and well, they finally did it. They have removed the public dislike counter on YouTube. Pretty much everybody that I know has come out and said that finally they have lost the dislike button. Apparently this happened in waves. Some people lost it like a week ago, some people lost it a few days after that, and I was actually in a pretty massive group of people that finally lost access to public dislikes just last night. So this has been something going on for weeks. I did make a video a couple weeks ago talking about it when it was first kind of being announced that it was going to happen. Kind of reacting to YouTube's announcement of the entire thing, which, by the way, if you didn't see the reaction to this entire move, it was pretty much universally negative. I mean, everybody was destroying YouTube for this. Massive creators with millions of subscribers or somebody with only a couple of views on their entire channel, it didn't really matter, you know. Most people agreed that taking the dislike off of YouTube is basically just not only completely idiotic and serves no fundamental purpose, but actually makes the user experience on the website worse. And yeah, I'm one of these people that falls in the same category, and today I just want to kind of rant about this because I don't know if I should be surprised or not at this point, but I mean, YouTube didn't listen to the criticism. They didn't listen to what all of these people said. And it wasn't like this was a minor issue that only a few people spoke out on. Like I said, this was like a universally hated decision by YouTube. I mean, people all across the board. I mean, it got to the point where apparently one of the co-founders of YouTube went back to the first video ever posted on YouTube and changed the description to kind of protest removing the dislike button. I mean, it was not a decision, I guess, that people really agreed with across the board. It's something that doesn't make sense and it makes the user experience worse. So I want to talk about this because I actually think that this realistically highlights a much larger issue with YouTube that has been brewing for years that needs to be constantly spoken out about, because these decisions are just mind-boggling, man. I mean, I don't understand why a decision that is so hated by the community was not only prioritized to this level, but also worthy of being stuck by, I guess is the best way to put it. So yeah, the public dislike counter is gone. You can still dislike videos, but the only person who will see that ever now is the creator who uploaded the video. So for instance, you know, people are probably going to dislike this video more than average because that's what happens when you talk about things like this, just because they want to test it and whatnot, but the only person who's going to be able to see that dislike count is going to be me. So I'll have to, I guess, I don't know, go into the YouTube studio or whatnot to figure that out. But number one, that really makes my job honestly a lot harder. And number two, it prevents people from openly criticizing my content as efficiently, which is an issue for me and realistically for the platform. Obviously, there are people out there who dislike my videos, and that's okay. I understand my videos aren't made for everybody, and, you know, you can't always please everybody or whatever. So, you know, people dislike the video. Personally speaking, I don't mind these things, right? Because it's part of doing YouTube. You're just gonna have people who don't like videos, and that's fine, and they should be allowed to express that publicly. I mean, if people are allowed to publicly express that they like a video, why should we not be allowed to publicly express that we don't like a video? You know what I'm saying? At this point, man, if liking and disliking is such a big deal, if you're gonna remove part of it, why even have any of it, okay? And that's not me advocating for them taking away the like button or anything, but the logic just doesn't make sense, okay? Because no one really knows why this decision has been made in the first place. It's such a nonsensical issue. The only real, I guess, plausible explanation at this point is YouTube was seeing some sort of, I guess, backlash from creators who were too pussy to hear that their videos weren't good, or that people didn't like their videos, and they complained to YouTube enough to have it taken away. That's the only reason that even makes realistically any sense that anyone's come up with. And of course, any answer from YouTube is just going to be a bunch of corporate, you know, bullshit that we've already heard, right? We believe that this innovation is the right step for our company. Same shit we've been saying for the last 7 years about everything we do. Insert generic comment about our brand and our responsibilities. Like, that's the same shit they've been doing forever. That's all you're going to hear, right? But you would think when making such a fundamental change to a website that you would have a legitimately justifiable reason to do it. And it's actually quite the opposite at this point. Like, any reason that they could have had, right, is gone because the community protested this decision super hard. If so many creators were getting their feelings hurt that dislikes were just fucking ruining their experience on YouTube, then how come 99% of the community is in favor of having a dislike button? And let's also just circle back to this. If people are so pussy that they can't hear, like, oh, I disliked your video, and, you know, be mentally okay from hearing that, realistically, should they even be doing YouTube? You know what I'm saying? Like, do they have the mental fortitude to do this job or to make content like this? I'm not sure why YouTube wants to trend in this direction of removing very good things from their website in order to appease a small, not even vocal minority of the community. It's not like 10% of creators have been crying about the dislike button for years upon years now, right? I've never heard complaints about the dislike button, not even one time in all reality, from anybody until, of course, it was going to be removed. So I'm still wondering what exactly the, I guess, reasoning behind this is, but it's gotten to the point of lunacy. So, for example, I don't know about you guys, but I watch a lot of tutorial videos on YouTube, and I have for a long time. I learn a lot of different things that I want to do off of YouTube. For instance, when I'm working on a video or something and there's a feature in like Premiere Pro or something that I need help kind of understanding or using correctly, I will look up a tutorial for that on YouTube or Photoshop, pretty much anything really. I look up tutorials probably at least once or twice a day, just to like learn new things, to see what I'm doing, figuring out new stuff. And a big way that I would measure the, I would say, quality of a tutorial on YouTube would be to look at the like to dislikes. So for instance, let's say I'm having trouble with a mission or something in a video game, I can't figure it out. I go to YouTube to look it up, see what I need to be doing. If the video has 100,000 views and has like, I don't know, 3,000 likes and 100 dislikes, usually I'd consider that a somewhat good tutorial, right? Because, well, the user feedback is pretty good. Well, unfortunately now, if I look at that same video today, I will never be able to use that kind of feedback again because, well, I can only see the likes. So it could have 3,000 likes, but could also have 50,000 dislikes. I would never fucking know. So that actually also applies across other types of content. For instance, when you're watching a video and you see that it has a really high dislike ratio compared to likes, that is a massive indicator of the quality of the video, and it tells audiences when they look at that whether or not they should even be engaged in this video. If I click on a video and you have 400 likes and 10,000 dislikes, there's pretty good chances I would be clicking off of that video. And that kind of led me to think, is YouTube doing this in order to increase view durations on videos so that people spend more time on the website? But then that also doesn't necessarily make sense to me either. There's a lot of confliction on that one too, because, you know, if that was the case, right, and they're making this move to increase viewer duration and whatnot so people can get clickbaited, not only does that provide a worse user experience, that would personally make me less likely to use YouTube going forward, it also, I don't think, would be that much of an impact on the view duration on web pages and stuff on YouTube, and I also feel like there could be much better ways that they go about trying to, you know, up that average time on the website and things like that. So the more that I kind of try and rationalize this and see where YouTube was coming from this, the more that I realize that it's basically just a logic desert, okay? There's just fucking nothing for miles. Like, imagine if, I don't know, let's say you're gonna go buy a video game and you got on Steam, right? And, I don't know, you find a game or something on the front page, like, oh, Battlefield 2042, perfect example, right? It is now considered one of the worst rated video games of all time on Steam, okay? People have been complaining about the game from the jump. It's been fucking getting destroyed critically and everything like that. Let's say that tomorrow they decided to get rid of the user review system because, you know, video game developers' feelings were getting hurt by these negative reviews. How are you supposed to know that other people like you enjoy this fucking product? You know what I mean? If you got on Steam tomorrow and you couldn't find out if people were being scammed by a purchase, I think we can all agree that would significantly degrade the user experience on that website or on that platform. In fact, chances are I wouldn't be buying that many games on Steam anymore if I couldn't view the feedback that other players have had for it. The same logic applies for YouTube. If I'm clicking on someone's video and I can no longer, you know, have a clear indication of the quality of the video right off the jump, it makes me less likely to want to stick through that video. And it's actually gotten so bad that people are turning to browser plugins essentially to fix this problem. So I have seen some reports from people on like Twitter and whatnot. Apparently, like, a small market of browser plugins through like the Chrome store and stuff like that are starting to pop up that actually somehow allow you to view the dislike counts again publicly. It's kind of ridiculous that in order to use an essential part of YouTube now, you have to go and download a browser plugin / extension in order to fucking, you know, view this. And obviously that shows the clear indication of where the actual public is on this, right? If there was no demand for a dislike button, if it was so uncared about, there wouldn't be plugins for it. And the fact that Google took what was a very secure extension of the YouTube website, and they have now basically made it to where you have to just hopefully, put trust into these third-party developers to access this feature, not only, once again, lessens the user experience, but it makes using the website just a little bit more dangerous, and it's basically just allowing people to circumvent what you've decided for your own website through people who don't even work for your fucking website. Like, it's sad that in order to have the OG good YouTube experience now, you have to download extensions. Personally, as of me recording this video, I have yet to download any of these plugins / extensions or anything for my browsers or anything, so I don't know how they work. I don't even know if they actually functionally work or, exist to the degree that people are saying that they do, but that's kind of just the rumor going around. And, well, I think that, once again, this whole situation, if we can wrap this all up here, it really kind of just shows a very important thing. YouTube simply does not give a fuck about user experience, and when they do, it's usually about profit. When it comes down to the features that people rely on to actually make the user experience worthwhile here on the platform, but it's not realistically a feature that directly makes them revenue in any way, YouTube will neglect it. For the same reason that copyright issues have been a fucking problem on YouTube for however long, and there's been virtually zero action over the last decade or so to take care of copyright trolls, billion-dollar corporations constantly striking everybody for even the most minor fair use. For the same reason that they've done nothing realistically to address the mass demonetization of thousands of creators on the platform, for the same reason that, they made YouTube Rewind garbage for however many years. It's all the same reason that the dislike button is being taken off the platform. Even if users care about the feature, even if users want this thing around, it's not making money, YouTube doesn't give a fuck, and your experience can suffer because of it. Because of what? Who knows? At this point, the best hypothesis is that a bunch of pussies got upset about it and, that just led YouTube to just kind of cave into the pressure. If that is the case, then not only is that pathetic, but it's just outright ignorant, so with that being said, though, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel, follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at @SubToOptimus. Make sure to check out Shop Opti down below, and until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, well, talking about the dislike button and signing out.